It's another episode of What's Outside the Box. Or actually, no. My bad. What's Inside the Box? Episode number 13, right? 13?
Oh, yeah, number 13.
Number 13 with myself, my boy Kevin, my dude Enrique, and the guest, the man of the hour, my dude DJ LF.
Yep.
I don't know, do you want to do the whole Latin flavor?
What
Throw
up?
that in there. Hi, you know.
Como estamos? Aquí andamos. What's up, everybody? Hey, your boy LF aquí.
You know,
What's up?
apart from my little intro, you know, let the people know what you do. Who is DJ LF? You know.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, so my name is LF, and yeah, I mean, I pretty much just a DJ. Pretty first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I mean, just been in the game for a good minute, and other than the DJing part of it, I guess you could say I just you know, do some producing on the side, and yeah, I'm a cool kickback kind of cat.
When did it start out?
It started out like as far as like what the DJing goes.
Mm-hmm. DJ.
That started out, man, probably about good like 10, 12 years back. Yeah, so it started out a lot of. I mean, it sounds crazy.
How old are you?
I'd probably DJ.
Bro, I'm older than you, dog. I'm older than you.
For a birthday party, bro.
So 12 years ago, like,
Yeah,
did you
man.
just get a desk or a setup? Or
Well, actually, it started even before that, bro. Like, it started like I was a kid, man. I mean, I would DJ for like my deals and stuff. They'd
Okay.
be like, yo, you know, like,
Like the looking to
yeah, you know, like little things, and they'll be like, you know, like I'm pretty sure they just wanted to go drink or like eat and stuff. They're like, oh, go play a song. I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, just fucking play a song and shit, something simple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kind of like was like, you know what, I'm gonna get my own decks, and you know, I was doing it in high school and stuff, and I would throw my own house parties and stuff. And then like after that, after high school, like I just kept on doing it, and then yeah, I was just like, yo, I'm gonna keep on this shit, and sure enough, I mean, fucking just been on it, you know.
Yeah, I was scrolling through your Instagram and your first post was like all the way back in like 2013.
For real?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Like you've come so far. I was just kind of like looking at how much you've
Yeah.
gone. You know, that post got like 2 likes, but like now you're getting like
Yeah.
1,000 views and stuff.
One of those likes was me and shit.
hey, it be like that. You gotta
For real,
support
bro.
yourself.
Yeah, for real. dog.
Hey, always support yourself.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
Nah,
so-
there's probably some older ones in there too. I mean, but I know I went in like maybe 2 years ago and I started deleting some more stuff. But yeah, but I didn't know it was 2013 though.
How come you deleted stuff on your Instagram?
Just
Was it
like
your own personal preference. You're like, I don't want that up anymore.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much?
Yeah, you
Gotcha.
know when you look back at yourself and you're like, what the fuck was I just like saying, or what the fuck was I thinking? So
I get you.
It's like,
It's
yeah.
out of like style nowadays.
Yeah,
some of
you
the
know?
things.
Nah, not only
Yeah.
that, it was most of it like was like with female stuff, like you know, like oh yeah, you know, like
Oh,
fuck am I talking about, you know, bitches, you know, like what the fuck, you know.
So would you say, like, you know, throughout the whole journey, obviously, you know, you've had growth, but how would you say that growth has been for you? You know, like early off, was it, you know, were you very like, I was like, I'm just partying, I'm just DJing, or like, were you very like centered into the, like going straight into DJing?
Tell you the truth, yeah, I mean to begin with, it was all about partying. Like it was like I said, you know, during high school stuff, it was just like yo,
Yeah.
like. But you know, I just invite all my friends, and then you know all the females would come too, and be like, "Yo, just party every weekend at my pad." You know, I'm gonna be the one with the music, and then at the time
Yeah.
too, my uncle, he's only like 4 years older than me, so he was already 21, so he was like buying all the drinks, buying all the liquor and stuff, and so it was literally like a legit party and stuff. But yeah, after all that phase went out, I mean, I started was like, I had my work, but then I was like, yo, like my work was more like my side thing. Obviously, it was like my hobby. So I was like, yo, like
Yeah.
my DJing is actually my passion. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I just kept on. And then like, I came to a point, at one point in my life, I was just like, dude, like, I was like a full-time, like, supervisor. And I was like, man, it just felt like if I applied that type of energy that I'm doing with work, like to my DJing full-time, then, I just be like, then it can grow,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, and that's what it was just where my dedication was going to be at. And at that point, that's when everything like went,
Yeah. How was that transition? Like, did you have to like take like a leap of faith? Because like you were a supervisor.
Yeah, bro, it was a big leap of faith, man. It was like not only the leap of faith, but it was definitely scary. I was like, yo, like, do I really want to give this up? Because it's like not only the money, but then obviously everything that comes with it, like benefits and stuff like that, and then just the fact that you put in so much time into a place, you're like, do I want to leave it and stuff, and I was like, well, like I said, I was like, the way I saw it was, any small business starts off with that leap of faith, you know? So somebody that owns like a gardening company, somebody that owns like a construction company, somebody that owns, you know, anything, right? You know, they start off like without knowing what's going to happen. But if you put that full-time mentality of like, yo, I'm going to put my time in and do what I can to fucking grow it, then yeah, you know, so that's how I went about it. And yeah,
did you have any people doubting that decision in your life, like maybe parents, family members?
I was actually gonna ask that now because I know damn well you had pressure from like all sorts of places, right?
On the real, bro. Like yeah, La Moria. It was a lot of like a lot of my family for sure. My parents, my parents were like what are you doing? You know, like and that was mainly the most of it. You know, just for my parents and stuff, and you know, everybody else, friends wise, the ones that kind of like you know rolled with me everywhere I went when I DJ'd. They supported it because they seen what I'm about, you know. So they were like, yeah, you know what, do it, like you fucking, you know. So yeah, but that was the tough thing to try and convince them, and still to this day they're like, nah, like you know, for real.
I think it might just be like a culture thing. Yeah. Like a lot of Mexican parents, they really want you to be successful at, you know, like the stereotypical success, and then, you know, I see this a lot with Asian families too. Yeah. Like they kind of want you to really focus on school, but you got to take that leap of faith. We did it with Box 760, episode 13. You know, we still got a lot to go, but I say we took that, and we're still not fully taking that leap because we all still have jobs. Yeah. You know, hopefully we get to that point where, you know, you got to.
It happened again. I apologize. We'll get a better camera soon enough, people. I'm so sorry. But we were talking about Zeldas, and for my Coachella Valley people, if y'all don't know who it was, at least me growing up, I was maybe like 7 or 8, hearing it on U92.7, being Zelda's nightclub, Zelda's nightclub, and Zelda's nightclub, and Zelda's was the most motherfucking popping nightclub we had here until it got shut down.
Yeah. That was the only club I knew about. For a while, like I don't know about any other clubs at all.
I heard it was crazy, like hella hyenas, you know.
So how was it, bro? How was the whole experience?
Yo, it was wild, bro. For real.
You actually lived it. You DJ'd it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of. I mean, yeah, crazy shit, man. Like it was dope. It was a dope party, bro. Like it's crazy that like it went down the way it did, like as far as it shut down. But the vibe was like, it was lit, bro. Like it was just like. La gente era like así bien like alegre, like it was very like people was just there to like, even though the ladies would get ratchet, but like it was still just a good vibe, bro. Like everybody was like cool with everybody, you know. Like there were inside, like there was like rarely any fights. It was always outside. Like at the time when everybody was leaving, like that's when shit went down. But like other than that, like inside was like cool. It was like a safe place, bro.
Is that true? That's like kind of like why it shut down, because like all the fights. I heard somebody got shot.
A couple incidents that happened outside.
Yeah, what happened? And I'm gonna be real. Like what happened was some shit went down in the parking lot. But like, let's say Zelda's was right here, but like the parking lot was so big, so it was like at the far end. Yeah. But because it was that night that Zelda's was open, and those people weren't even in the club, bro. And they went down they went down at the other end of the parking lot. It was just automatically assumed that it was Zelda's nightclub.
The club.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was cool, man. I mean, like, bro, I would always leave fucked up because it was just like rage, bro. It was like bottles here, drinks here, like ladies all over the place. Let's go, you know. Like it was dope.
Are you like a lightweight or a heavyweight?
Back then I was a heavyweight. Now I'm pretty sure a lightweight. For real, man. It was all bad, but you know. Quarantine does that shit to you, you know?
And now, going from the whole club scene and everything, how has this transition been into the radio show? You know, I just seen that. You know, you just posted that. Yeah, like, bro. Congrats on that. That's dope.
Man. Thank you, dog. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to do it for a good minute, man. I should say I've done like guest spots here and there. Like I'll do like guest mixes on like different radio stations. Like I was recently on one in Salt Lake City. I was on one in Vegas. I was on Diplo's, radio station on Sirius XM.
Oh shit, that's dope as fuck. How do you get like for someone who's kind of how you started, they're DJing high school parties or just parties. How do you get opportunities to DJ for clubs or other organizations?
Tell you the truth, bro, it's a lot of it's just being consistent, and then on top of that, like, just networking, bro. A lot of it. I just being consistent. Like, let's say with the show, I mean, if you guys keep on that, and then on top of that, you start meeting more and more people, and then all of a sudden, like, their people start meeting you, and then so that's kind of how it worked with me. I mean, the other thing too is that in the DJ world, some DJs are kind of like, I don't want to take this gig because there's not enough money in it, or I don't want to take this gig because it's not popping. Mm-hmm. The spot is like whack, it's burned out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I was always like taught, and I guess it's part of the cultura, like part of the, just never turn down work. So I was like, yo, I'm going to fucking do it regardless, I mean, if it's at a fucking park, if it's a fucking birthday party, if it's at a club that's like, like a hardcore paisa club, or if it's like a straight up, I was like, I'm going to do it. And so every time I said yes to all those people that said, that said no, that they didn't want to do it, it just kind of built up from there. And that's how I ended up like, like say, wanting to start doing all these other things, so it was like, and then where I'm at with the radio station now is kind of like, it's cool because it's like, it's a vibe that I've always been trying to put out there, like for when people come to the club, like I was like, yo, this is what I'm about and stuff. And now this radio station kind of like is like really what I'm, like all of a sudden like a, what I'm trying to say, collective of what I am,
Yeah, okay, collective. Is it hard doing more Spanish songs, or has that always been in your culture?
That's always been me. Yeah.
Oh shoot! All right.
That's always been me. Like I said, when I started like the reggaeton.
Which one was the one you liked? The Neo?
The one with Neo. You did like a mix with Neo. It was like the Neo thing. That was cool.
Yeah, bro. The little TikTok. Yeah. I mean, well, there's different genres of DJs. I guess you could say I'm open format, meaning I can play pretty much anything. Mm-hmm. Growing up, I guess listening to anything. I mean, I would say I listened more to a lot of Latino music when I was growing up, and then a lot of house music. So that's why my Spotify is more house, and my my like podcast and SoundCloud is like more Latino stuff. So it's kind of like that's really who I am. It's like but I mean as far as like the hip hop and like R&B, I mean that's all like cake to me because I know how to throw it in and stuff.
Yeah. And when it comes down to a set, and it let's say for example, I'm pretty sure let's say you go to like a Latin club, how do you go towards that mentality of like, okay, let's see how I'm gonna build this playlist up, or like what I'm thinking of playing, or like do you just do it on the spot, or like how does that go? Because
it depends, bro. I've done playlists, and then I've done things. I would say I'd probably do like maybe, if you wanted to say a ratio, I'd probably do like more 80% on the fly and 20% playlist. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is like if I go to a club, let's say like in Long Beach, and I'm like, I know of what the vibe is right there, so I'll be like, okay, these are the kind of songs that will be either my fillers or my like starters. So what I mean by that is like, if I want to start off with a hip hop song, I'll start it off with that because I know that that's the kind of vibe it's gonna be. But then I'm gonna fill it in with a lot more Latino stuff, like So I kind of like, so it's a process. I mean, it's just I've always said like, yo, if you're able to read the crowd and see how they are just like that naturally, then it's kind of like you kind of are a good DJ because without having to be like, yo, let me play this, like Drake song. Yo, let me play this, like, because you're going down the list. I mean, it's like anybody can do that. I mean, that's why you got Spotify playlists. I mean, you could just like literally do, like just put all your songs that you want to hear, you put them in there. As opposed to like you get thrown with different songs. You're like, oh shit, like
because that's a different art. Like being able to read the crowd. I've heard that a lot, and like the time I see DJs the most is like at festivals, if I'm keeping it real. So I hear a ton of EDM and stuff, and like you can tell the better DJs from the ones that are, they've been doing it and they kind of keep it there in that pocket with like the mainstream music.
Right.
Whereas some people will play like remixes and things like that, and then you'll be like, oh shit. I like going to a set and feeling like I heard something here tonight I've never heard. Hopefully I can go home and they got it on Google, like somewhere.
And I've been doing that with SoundCloud. Whenever I hear like a good ass like anything, I'm just like, oh, SoundCloud, day whatever the fucking set time playlist, whatever the fuck is that.
I'm just there to get lit. As long as it's one thing, like.
Yeah, bro. I fucks with that. It's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I know what you mean because sometimes I'll be like, oh, yo, I remember that date. Let me look it up or something. I'll be like, yo, let me look at some YouTube videos and see that set and be like, yo, that's
Just to relive the little moment, the little like euphoria that you feel at that moment.
You can close your eyes and you can still hear the music.
still vibing and
Like,
shit
still
out again.
visually see it.
For reals. Yeah.
So on the radio show, do you just control all the music that's played on there, or like are you just there for I guess like the mixing and the helping out with the audio and all that?
I wouldn't say I control all the music. I'm like probably like maybe 60% involved with like as far as controlling the music. The thing with radio is that sometimes they have because it depends on like the guidelines and the program.
Mm-hmm.
The programmer says, okay, we're gonna do it this way. These are the kind of songs you can or can't play, and vice versa. But with this radio show in particular, they let me play whatever I want, so to speak. So when I get on the decks and I start mixing and stuff, and choosing tracks, they let me do that. But I would say my shout out to my main host Jackie. What up? ¿Cómo estamos?
Shout out.
Hey. So yeah. She has like her set playlist of songs that she does like a top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So like she'll play those ones, and then but as far as everything else, she kind of like leaves it in my hands. So
Oh, okay. That's
yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like I actually get a chance to like show exactly what I've been doing like in the clubs, but on a radio format. It's like so it's cool. I'm grateful for that opportunity for sure. Yeah,
you found the platform like for you. It's tight. That's tight. You found the fit.
Hell yeah.
So what's that difference between DJing and producing? Because you said you are a producer. So kind of walk us like through the beginning of your producing stages.
Or
does that go hand in hand with DJing? Because I know you can like put in sounds and do everything in that like
You can. I guess the beginnings the producing was kind of more like just besides the whole DJing like you was mentioning about putting heavy beats was just I was like. I just was like, one day I was like, yo, I'm just going to make a fucking song, and it's because I think a lot of it was because I was like, yo, like I'm tired of just like pushing the SoundCloud. I was like, yo, I want to go more. I'm going to do it bigger, you know? So yeah, I got to that point. I was like, yo, I'm just going to make a song. So I was like, okay, what do I need to make the song? I was like, yo, I'm going to get the program. And then I was like, yo, I'm going to get something basic as far as like keyboard and stuff, And at that point, it was just like simple beats. I was just like, okay, like, basic shit.
Is it still Latin flavor you're producing, or would you say that's a little different route?
Well, so here's the thing: is that with my music, I try to implement Latin.
Okay.
Latin into it, Latin infused. So I don't know if y'all heard of like Latin house or like tropical house.
They say Moombahton, something like that.
Moombahton is dope. Moombahton's more kind of like on the reggaeton end.
Okay.
Because it's more like it's more like it's more mobile.
Yeah, it has like that little bounce.
Yeah, and it's hype, bro. That's totally dope. And then but my stuff is a little bit more housey. It's a little bit more like
I feel that.
Tech
you fuck with the house around here. We always play house every once in a while,
bro. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we love going to the house sets. Whenever we go to any festival, the house sets are fucking fun. Especially, because I know house is just like kind of, it's like the root of a lot of the fucking, like the tree of fucking EDM that you can put it, so like, it's cool seeing how, I guess in just the house genre, like house started here, but now it's evolved to so much,
Yeah.
And exactly how, like, DJs have evolved, I'm pretty sure, like, you being, I don't know exactly. I'll just say like 16. You had like certain deck and everything, but now you're like I don't know how old you are right now, but now like you've gone and you grown up, and like even that evolution has made you had a whole other big deck. You're on the radio show. What is the next step for you? At this point.
The next from damn bro.
Because you said you try to push it, not the SoundCloud. And that was a minute ago. What is that next step now?
Well, man, just hopefully start being able to get recognized more on my like Spotify and stuff and Apple Music. So at that point, my next step that I envision, so to speak, is being able to go like on tour, like and be able to like DJ at different spots and stuff. I have already, but I feel like I want to be able to go like to. I like I said, back to networking and meeting DJs. I've met I should say electronica DJs. Out of like London and Ibiza and stuff, and like being able to do what they do, like go to different like countries and stuff like that, and hopefully we'll see. We'll obviously start nationwide first, but hopefully at that point be able to
like some Tomorrowland type of stuff.
Yeah, something like obviously like Tomorrowland is fucking crazy. You gotta
that's pretty up there, like to start off with. But I'm sure there's a few festivals.
for sure I would have to get picked up by a label to do Tomorrowland, and at that point, like, yeah, I mean, anything's possible at this point. Yeah, so it's like, it's just I'm just trying to make more music and put it out there, and just show people my vibe and stuff. That's really it, Yeah.
Was there ever a club that you wanted to play at, like, or was it Zeldas before it closed down? Like, was that like, I want to play at that club, or like,
like here in the Valley?
Here in the Valley or anywhere, and why that club?
No, not really. Like, I've never looked at a club like, I want to play here, or I need to play here. It was more like, if I saw like a club, like let's say in Vegas or something, it was more like, I know I can play here.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So it was never like, I needed to, like, how do I say this? Like, floss it, or be like, yo, like it was just more like, I know I could. And when I when I did Zeldas, it was literally after I left Copa. I was at Copa nightclub. I'm back at Copa actually on Wednesdays, but obviously we ain't open yet. Mm-hmm. But
hey, when you open, go to Copa on Wednesday.
Nightclub Wednesday night. Like, let's go. So like, I was like, okay, well, like I was like, okay, Zelda's like, I know I can play her, so I was like, I'm gonna like set it up with them, and so I eventually was like the DJ there. So and I've been other places before. I mean, here in the Valley, I mean, it is what it is. The thing about with the Valley is like, it's kind of like more. I mean, have you guys gone like to like clubs out in LA, or like?
I've gone to clubs out in LA because they're 18 plus over there. Right. I've gone over there, but I just turned 21, so I'd have to discover what.
I haven't been to any out here. Really? If I'm being honest. Do you see a difference between them?
Haven't you gone to Copa?
The cultures.
Yeah, Kevin's gone to Copa. Yeah, that's the one that's in front of the. I think it's like a post office next to it. Yeah. It's right in front of like the Chinese little restaurant right there. So,
Chinese food is bomb, bro.
Yeah. I always see it, but like I'm like, I don't know. Nah, bro, it looks lonely all the time. I'm just like, who the fuck eats there? How the fuck they open?
It's because everybody stays inside, bro. Really don't.
Well, it's literally on the corner of Copa. Like it's diagonal to it.
Shit, I don't know where Copa is, but
I don't know the streets. I would give you streets.
It was dark when I went there, so I didn't really like get to see
it. But Kevin's gonna go, bro.
Yeah. I forgot what was that? What was my bad?
Is there any difference between LA clubs and Valley clubs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there's a total difference, bro. Like LA, you can get away with playing whatever you want, and people are gonna like fuck with it. And here in the Valley, like, they still stuck on like shit that's like you're like old shit. It's like,
honestly, I don't think you were there when I went to Copa at that time, but like. When I went there, like, I wasn't really vibing with the music.
Oh, really?
With whatever they were playing, Like, it was like really old stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was the song? Is there a song you recognize on there?
Yeah, but there's just like, I don't know. I just wasn't really fucking with it.
It was probably me DJing. Nah, fuck you. But it's not just. I mean. Like, it's just like, it's like everywhere, like, here, it's like, I don't know what it is.
Nah, that wasn't you, man.
Honestly, I don't even know they had a DJ. I just remember like the TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was just like on the set playlist or something.
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Is it going to be a while before it opens again? I heard they're bringing back the purple tier. Did y'all hear that?
We're back in purple tier.
Yeah, we're back as of right now.
Does that affect you?
It does, bro.
As a DJ?
It does, man. Well, I mean, it affects me because obviously the purple tier doesn't allow like bars to open, and bars haven't been open for a good minute. So I mean, now what's been happening, especially like nationwide, like restaurants are starting to like have DJs. Like just recently, like over 2 weeks ago, I was at Antigua, which is a restaurant, but they have a bar kind of thing. And so, as a DJ, now we're starting to do just like restaurant gigs as opposed to like bars or nightclubs because nothing's open. So. Whereas when it was bars and nightclubs, I was like DJing like 4 or 5 nights a week, like real talk. Like
actually, I will second you on that because we actually went downtown not too long ago, and I don't know if DJ Alfalfa, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
He was there DJing outside El Patron, and like it's crazy that you're mentioning that because like that's that's literally where I seen the DJ.
Yeah,
and Antigua too, I seen him too.
Yeah. So so that's the way it is now. I mean, but hopefully. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, something that's got to give. So hopefully by next year, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe next year, maybe they'll start opening bars again. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like festivals getting ready for 2021. No, I don't really know how all that's gonna play out.
Well, they already rescheduled Coachella again.
Yeah, I mean that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen no more. But
you know.
Yeah, because even me, like, not even being a DJ, I mean, as a person, like, I want to go out to the club. You know, I want to distract myself from these four walls.
I want to. Now I'm 21, like.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't gotten the experience of being 21.
For the people that just turned 21, like, I feel like we need them clubs open. Yeah. You know, I haven't experienced something apart from like going out to eat and like having a drink. You know, that's the most adult thing I've done, I think.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about like, you know, LA clubs being different from Valley clubs, you know, would you say that you aim to like change the atmosphere or something, or would you say you have to mold more into the atmosphere here?
Mold, like as far as like me myself mold, or
kind of like I guess it's like kind of reading the room, being like, oh, you guys aren't fucking with this, well let me come back to this then, because I know you guys are gonna fuck with this, and kind of conforming to the crowd instead of being your own DJ, and like still throwing in what you want to throw.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what you're trying to wear. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I was gonna say I do agree on that. I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, I guess you could say for me, it's always been kind of like 60-40, you know, because 60% of it, me being who I am as far as, you know, like playing my music and playing what I want to play, but then 40%, you know, obviously reading the crowd and be like, yo, okay, well then fuck it, I'll play this song because that's what they're gonna like. And then on top of that too, you always, I mean, as a DJ, you always got to kind of like think about, you know, the person that's paying you, because, you know, if you're not pleasing the manager or the owner or the bartenders, then they're like, yo, this fucking DJ's whack, like, you know,
because you're at a gig, you know, you're playing for for them, and I see what you mean.
Because you got to make them business, you know. Obviously, the whole point of the DJ is not only to, you know, treat the crowd, but at the same time, like, get them to get hype and, you know, get drinks and, like, you know, just party and stuff. And obviously that's more money for them. And they're like, you know, and if the DJ is not doing that job, then it's like, you know, you cut. I mean, so it's like, there's a balance, you know, there's a balance to it. And it's
I've heard that in the music industry, there's a bunch of like stuff like that goes on, you know, that as fans we don't really know about. Like, is there any more behind the scenes that you know about, like in the music industry, like the club scene? Is it super hardcore like that? Because I know you worked at a restaurant, right? Castelli's? Yeah. And the manager was like on point about everything. Everything had to be perfect. Is it like that at the clubs with like promoters or the managers there? Or do they kind of give you that freedom and then you're expected to perform after that?
It depends, man. It's
that's on a club to club basis.
Yeah, because I've met promoters where they're like cool as fuck and they're like, you know, chill. Yeah, they're like, you know,
their business, but chill.
Right. You know, they're like,
okay.
you know, like, you know, you do you is cool. You know, like, you know, well, obviously they trust in me, you know, but then there's other like places that I've been at where they're like I said, the manager's like, yo, like, this is how I want it, like that, you know, it's like, and then you're like, okay, fuck, like, you know, so when you go to places like that, it does add a lot more stress for sure, because then you're like, fuck, like, what do I, you know, like, you know, like, I don't want to fuck this up, you know?
Yeah, it reminds me of the scene from Straight Outta Compton. I think it's Dr. Dre when he's
at the beginning, bro.
Yeah,
he was a DJ, bro.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, he was a DJ, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, like, he wanted to play his music, but the manager was not having it. Yeah. But he knew the crowd would fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, have you ever felt like you were in a situation like that? Where, like,
yeah, bro. Yeah, I've gotten fired for it a couple times.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, bro. Real talk. Like, not only just the music, but sometimes like let's say the stage was a certain way, and I was like, yo, like, let me move it this way, just because, you know, I would be able to like vibe with the crowd a bit more, as opposed to if I was like, you know, like in a corner or something, you know. And then just little things like that. They're like, yeah, you know, like, you know, you did it without like telling us, or, you know, and yeah, bro, like they cut me. Yeah, or like the music, they'll be like, you're not playing enough banda or something, or like, you know, and then they'll be like, yeah, you're cut. I'm like, oh shit, all right, whatever.
Like, it was worth getting fired for that, bro. Like,
yeah, you know, at that point, it's like, you know, like, I'm not like the type of person that like is my way or no way, but it's kind of like there is business sense to what I like, you know, like what I try to do, you know,
right?
You know, and it's like, and if they don't see it that way, then it's it is what it is. You know, then we part ways at that point. You know, it's like
On to the next.
yeah.
You work with who you actually like, who's actually your people, so it
Right.
actually like communicates with you and you actually like match them.
Yeah.
It creates a better energy. I think so.
Yeah,
Instead of
bro,
working
totally.
with someone who's like always clashing. It's just like, nah, cut that. Like,
Yeah, man. I mean, the universe has a way of like kind of like, you know, just like separating or putting people together. It's like it's totally like for real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
boom.
I'd consider it more of a loss on their end because like you know,
Yeah,
if you know what
thank
you're
you, bro.
doing and you can have a
Thank
good
you, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gotten me to where I'm at, but you know, I was gonna say, of course, I don't think I'm like top notch. You know, I mean, there's tons of other DJs out there that are like way dope and like way like sick with their like cuts or like their mixes or whatever. But like, you know, I mean, I'm humble enough to say that yeah, you know what, I thank God, you know, for where I've been at and what I've done stuff. So that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would you say there's any like producers or DJs that you really like aspire to, like still, like just look up to?
I met the dude that I was like, yo, like this guy was like A-Track. I don't know if you know who A-Track is.
Bro, I
yeah,
fucking
shit.
love
Yeah,
A-Track. We saw him
A-Track,
one day.
that's Right.
Check.
I swear, I just watch him DJ sometimes because not all the DJs still use the turntables
Yeah.
like you do, bro. Like
Yeah,
some of them
so-
use the CDJs. I think they spin. What's the difference? Honestly, I don't know. As someone who doesn't DJ.
Well, I was gonna say on that note, but did you see that recently there was a video that somebody was DJing with a fidget spinner?
Oh,
Yeah, actually they put a fidget spinner, but there's a little like device that us DJs can add, and so he's like scratching with it. It's like crazy, but
Honestly,
So you met
yeah, it's
A-Track?
I made A-Track, yeah. I made A-Track, and that was cool. I was like, yo, totally like fucking like
Like
fanboy.
fanboy?
Oh, yeah, I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
like yeah,
Fuck is A-Track?
yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, he was totally cool. He was like just like chill and stuff. And I mean, obviously, because he meets so many people. But yeah, him because obviously he went from DJing like like top notch like like championship like performance type like stuff, and then to doing producing and stuff and do producing with Doug Sauce and stuff and
Mhm.
like I was like yo like yeah dude it's like him and then I was gonna say back to your question as far as like the difference between like CDJs and turntables. There is a slight difference in the somewhat in the sound and then somewhat in obviously completely in the feel. The turntables have a certain what we call drag. It has a certain because what it is, it's a motor that spins the record around, right?
Okay.
So you feel that motor like pushing against your hand, so it's a lot more easier for you to like do the scratch movement. Whereas with a CDJ, it doesn't necessarily move, so
Okay.
you just see the waveform moving. So it feels different, but and the response is sharper on the CDJ because it's digital as opposed to the record. Which was better? It depends on the style, But I'll tell you this: that with the CD player, the CDJ, there's less, I guess you could say, things can go wrong as opposed to like a turntable. Yeah, so
I've heard about it like skipping.
yeah,
It skips and
Skipping.
stuff. That's why I like watching DJs like that because I always feel like, I don't know, there's something about the turntables, man, moving the hand, and then a lot of them have a couple, A-Track.
Mhm.
He's the one I watch mostly with turntables.
yeah.
He be making beats while he's DJing, like
Yeah,
transitioning music at the same time. I'm like, damn, you got like 3-4 legs, or
Yeah.
like you're going behind the bag.
It's like Dr. Octopus and shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah,
So
that's it.
besides A-Track, you got anybody else like that you aspire to or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say, I mean, as far as like, well, on the scratch side of it, there's this dude that's called a Rectangle. He's a homie that I've like looked up to before him, and I already forgot Rhythmatic out of the Visionaries. He was another guy that I looked up to as far as like the scratching part of it. Producing wise, I mean, I guess not really. I mean, like I said, all my like house music kind of like was like the inspiration. So I guess you could say the DJs that produced, like the kind of type of genre of music, I guess were kind of like my inspiration on the house side. I guess like Cashmere or like a Green Velvet, and then you know, like Carl Cox, he's another DJ slash, you know, producer.
Oh,
so.
shout out to Carl Cox. I know Carl Cox.
So
Thanos.
Bro.
yeah, bro. So like, yeah, I mean, I guess those are dudes that I, you know, definitely look up to. So yeah, for sure.
I've seen a set of Carl Cox like full on YouTube. That shit's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That shit just you get so.
And he's an older cat, bro. He's
Yeah.
like probably like I think in his 60s now or something. I don't know, but yeah, he's like old.
He up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done anything like that, like a live stream now that there's quarantine?
I've done live streams, yeah. As a matter of fact, my last one, recent one, I guess was like maybe a couple weeks ago. Not only because I say this because the radio station is also a live stream. So yeah.
Oh,
so if you want to tune into that, MT Radio, MT Radio on Facebook, check it out. I'm on there Sundays, Flow Latino. Let's go.
The shout out, the vlogging, I fuck with it.
Hell yeah. So.
It looks like, you know, you gotta wrap it up because it is cutting close to the time of the video.
Okay.
But you know, before we go, anything you'd like to tell the audience, you know, your peoples, any message to the kids, anything at all, any new drops, any new shit?
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, let's see. All I gotta say is let's start with just be consistent, be true to yourself. If you have the love for music, do it. Don't stop. Like real talk. Like I mean, just keep on it. Like even with this whole like shutdowns, I mean, you may not be able to like DJ in a club at this point or whatever, you know, or a bar. Just do the live streams or even practice at home. You know, I may not do a lot of live streams, but I'm always practicing. I'm always like organizing with my music. I'm always doing something with it. If you love it, like I said, just keep on that. On that note, with that, I do got some new music coming out. Actually, I got a couple new tracks going to be released next year, but I do have one coming out in a couple weeks. It's called Generate with KOTC, nice. Victor Simmons. We shot a music video a couple weeks ago too, right?
Oh,
3 weeks ago, yeah. So
actually, that was a whole month ago. I think. A whole month ago. It was in September.
So
shout out to Victor. Shout out to Kevin. The whole music video collaboration.
Right.
You know, we'll throw that in here somehow or some link. You know.
Hell yeah! And so that's gonna be coming out within a couple weeks too, and then that's gonna be on Spotify. Look me up, DJ LF. Like I said, I have my playlist on there too of my tracks that I've inputted for my for like some of the mixes that I have on my SoundCloud, which is DJ_LF. And then of course the podcast is the hashtag Follow the Música. That's on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, LinkedIn or TuneIn, and Pandora. Pretty much everything you can think of. Look it up. The socials, DJ_LF, Instagram, Facebook, Snap, Twitter, TikTok. And gosh, I mean, I don't know. Obviously the radio station, once again, like I said, cada domingo, tune in for that. And I'm kind of out of breath.
Hi. So once again, it's been another episode of What's Inside the Box. It's been myself, Alan, my boy Kevin, my dude Enrique. You know, from my room to the world, it's always been a pleasure with y'all. Bale Fufase and all that good shit.
See ya.